Laois Senior Hurling Championship Final 1999. They briefed together the champions of the past 2 years. Castletown, Laois champions of 97, Portlaoise champions of last year. Both teams then defeated in the Leinster Club Final. Castletown, when they come in as probably favourites in this game, with John Lyons, our captain, in goal. Paul Cuddy and Cyril Cuddy in the centre of the defence. David Cuddy, probably a lot depending on him at centre of the field. And up front, we'll have young players like Patrick Phelan, Fiona Sullivan, Sean Hanlon and Paddy Dollard at full forward. The Portlaoise side, well, they haven't taken off their tops as yet, and we don't know exactly what the full line out is, but Sir Duggan, well, he's one of their long serving members at full back, with Niall Ridney, probably their scorer in chief this year, at centre half back. Joe Phelan, one of the younger players, outstanding this year, both hurling and football. And up front, a lot will depend on Eamon Fennelly at centre half forward, and young players Tommy Mulligan, Brian Fitzpatrick and Brian Bohan. Laois Senior Hurling Championship Final for 1999. Referee Liam McEvoy of Timahoe. Portlaoise playing from right to left into the Abbeleg's end of O'Moore Park. The champions of the last 2 years against each other. Ball is in, and the Laois Senior Hurling Championship Final on. Noel Reedy playing with number 25, playing at full forward. Certainly the veteran inside, and a one-handed pull from him, and the free out is to Castletown, and Paul Cuddy will take it. Number of changes on the Portlaoise side. Damien O'Sullivan and Des Reedney coming in for Tony Bergen and Rock Scully from the official programme, and Noel Reedney replacing his brother Donald at full forward. Paul Cuddy will take the free. Drives it way down along the far side for Patrick Phelan from Castletown. Patrick being held over that far side by Joe Phelan, but gets his shot in low along the ground. John Hannafy off his line, comes out to it. The ball very, very slippery. Rain at the moment just holding off at O'Moore Park. Hand pass the ball back inside to Eamon Murphy, and Murphy clears a great ball to the centre of the field. Robert Delaney is under. The ball coming down to Damien O'Sullivan, but leaving it behind him. Podgy Cuddy, brother of David and Paul's, hand passes the ball forward, but holding inside of the Fernand O'Sullivan by Cyril Duggan, and the chance for Castletown to get the opening score of the game. Patrick Phelan will come out to take it. Opening minutes of the game. The rain has just eased off after the Laois Junior Hurling Championship final, and hopefully will stay away for the next 60 minutes or so, as Patrick Phelan rises the ball, strikes it clearly in the opening score of the game for Castletown in this Laois Junior Hurling Championship final, a clash of the champions of 97 Castletown and 98 Portlaoise, who will be the last champions of this old century. Puck out from long-serving John Hannafy, in line for a dual championship this year, hurling and football goalkeeper with Portlaoise, as the ball is struck along the ground, cut off back there by Cyril Cuddy to David Cuddy. Cuddy drills it on down along the far side for Paddy Dollard, beaten for the ball by Des Killeen. Joe Phelan, a dual minor of this year, hurling and football with Laois. The ball taken off of him, running onto it again is Paddy Dollard. Back in the Castletown team after an absence, with the ball inside in the middle. Pulling inside from Fionnán O'Sullivan, a little bit high to the referee on Cyril Duggan, and the free out will be to Portlaoise. Fionnán O'Sullivan picked it corner forward, playing it full on Cyril Duggan, and Niall Reedney will take this free, 45 metres out from his own goal. Crowd still coming into O'Moore Park for this eagerly awaited final, as the ball drops about 60 metres out. Teddy Fennelly in possession, trying to push his way forward, hand passing the ball across. David Cuddy takes it off him and wins it on the run. David Cuddy, the midfielder, gets his shot in despite Teddy Fennelly trying to close him down from behind, but his shot will go to the left and wide. John Hannafy, left hand side, up to go in the centre. The ball won by young Owen Dooley, in for Michael Butler. Dermot Mullins. Fionnán O'Sullivan beaten for the pull by Cyril Duggan. Good play by Duggan. Pull out on the round. That's a great pull by Tommy Mulligan into the Noel Rigney, the full forward. Rigney goes for the score. That's a great shot, but just to the right and wide. Good play by Portlaoise. Good play by Tommy Mulligan, All-Ireland minor football medal winner of a couple of years ago. Under 21 again next year, and great strike inside to Noel Rigney, and Noel Rigney's shot just wide of the post as the captain of Castletown, John Lyons, takes the puck out. Niall Rigney's back there, the centre half back for Portlaoise, turning onto his left side, strikes the ball up towards Brian Bohan and Tom Phelan. Martin Phelan beaten for the ball. Eamon Murphy chasing back after it with Sean Hanlon. Dermot Mullins is there, nephew of Brian Mullins, former great Dublin midfielder and former manager of Derry, but his hand pass ball forward. Scrappy play, and the referee will go in to sort it out, as players getting a little bit angry with each other in the early minutes of the game. Referee Lee McEvoy. Anxious to get on with the play, anxious to get part in this action. Des Reedney and David Cuddy anxious to get in for it. Niall Reedney and Eamon Kermit in there instead. Des Reedney tips the ball out near the sideline. Chasing after is David Cuddy. Cuddy and Des Reedney tries to close him down. Gets the shot across the far side, but the referee will blow the whistle, and something he saw off of the ball, but David Cuddy down injured, and Fionnán O'Sullivan with the ball in his hand, and the referee will give the free in about 45 metres out. Half minutes gone in this opening half. Patrick Phelan rises the ball, strikes it well. His second score of the game. Castletown's second score of the game. They lead by 2 points to no score with just 6.5 minutes gone. Puck out, dropping in the centre, Brian Fitzpatrick. Cut away by young Owen Dooley. Niall Rigney's there. He shot up towards his brother Noel. Noel way out from the full forward position. Tips the ball away. Back there is David Cuddy to win possession. Cuddy turns and strikes it in his right side. Niall Rigney's back there again. Breaks the ball down, but only for Fionnán O'Sullivan to gather. Tackled by Cyril Duggan. Gets a shot outside to this side of the field. To Sean Hanlon. Hanlon goes for the score, but pressure on him from cornerback Eamon Murphy, and he's forced to shoot the ball out to the right and wide. Second wide of the game for Castletown. John Hanafy's puck out. Again past the middle of the field. Of course the hand of Podge Cuddy, the centre half forward. He drives it forward for Paddy Dollar. Out is Des Killeen, son of John, former great Galway player of the 40s. The ball down the side of the field, pulled on by Brian Fitzpatrick, but taken by Cyril Cuddy, the centre half back for Castletown. He gets his shot in, but out comes Cyril Duggan, just pushing Fernando Sullivan out of his way, and clears a massive ball, puts Portlaoise on the attack. A real rallying shot from him up towards Noel Ridley. Brian Vaughan on the ball, been tackled by Patrick Phelan, forced to give him the ball back outside. Teddy Fennelly beaten for it back there by John O'Sullivan, the trainer of the Castletown team, and the ball forced out over the sideline. The last touch from a Portlaoise player, and the sideline ball will be to Castletown. Brian Bohan and the number 2 Martin Phelan having a little bit of a tussle off the field as Noel Reedney calls for attention. Took a bit of a knock, looks to be up around the head. In ball for John O'Sullivan, great cut down along the sideline by Sullivan. Paddy Dollar is under, Des Killeen breaks it down. Running onto it Patrick Phelan. One of 3 butters on the Castletown side. 3 players on the run, 20 metres out, going for the goal. A shot, raised in by Hanafy, but the ball just kept Laois over the line. John O'Sullivan getting the last touch to it. John O'Sullivan, it looked like, with the red helmet, getting the last touch to it. It was Patrick Phelan on a marvellous run, got the ball about 45 metres out, cut the Portlaoise defence in 2, took a great shot, a one-handed shot. A one-handed save from John Hanafy. The ball was high in the air. The Castletown forwards are in, and a touch just getting it over the line. Great start for Castletown, and certainly the goal that Portlaoise didn't need. But the pressure paying off for the boys in the blue and white. 11 minutes gone in the game. Castletown leading 1-2 to no score. Damien O'Sullivan, Lowell on the ground up the column clear. Beaten for the ball back there by Tom Phelan. Cyril Cuddy gives it to Robert Delaney. More life in the game now with that goal. Back fighting after the ball, Paddy Dollar. Fernando Sullivan breaks it out into an open space. Back there it does Killeen. Killeen, good shoulder off of the ball. And the ball taken by Joe Phelan, and Phelan clears away up along the far sideline. Back there is David Cuddy. Cuddy wins possession. Tackled by Teddy Fennelly. Hurl was high in the freeze to Castletown. But Patrick Phelan making all the running for that goal. He has 2 brothers in the side of 2 cornerbacks, Tom and Martin. And the corner forward Patrick cutting the Portlaoise defence right down the middle. His shot was the makings of that goal as David Cuddy's free drops high, dropping in, kept in play back down here by Sean Hanlon. Back there is Diarmuid Mullins. Mullins wins possession, tries to shove Hanlon away, gets his shot in back into the middle of the field. Robert Delaney, strong player, beaten for the pull this time by Tommy Mulligan to Damien O'Sullivan. Sullivan back in towards Noel Rigney. Brian Vaughan there, tackled by Martin Phelan, fouled by Martin Phelan, and the free in will be to Portlaoise. Minutes gone in the game. Niall Rigney with the free, a chance for the opening score for Portlaoise. It's between the posts. The Portlaoise captain and centre half back Niall Rigney getting the opening score of the game for the defending champions with 13 minutes gone in the game. John O'Sullivan, the ball taken off him by Brian Bohan. Robert Delaney will chase after him. Wing half back for Castletown. Very impressive right throughout his senior hurling championship campaign. Drives the ball down. Eamon Murphy grabs it. Tackled by 2 blue and white jerseys and wins himself a free. Podge Cuddy and Sean Hanlon surrounding Eamon Murphy as he caught the ball, and Niall Rigney, now the referee, bringing that ball up for a bit of descent. And Niall Rigney will take the free about 55 metres out from his own goal. Niall Rigney. This one will drop in around the square. His brother Noel is in there, puts the hurl up, breaks the ball down. Colin clear back there, so also is Paul Cuddy. Paul Cuddy, the full back, gets the ball outside to his corner back. Tom Phelan. Tom Phelan clears his lines way out to the side of the field, but the ball was too wide. Out over the sideline. Sideline ball will be to Portlaoise. Dermot Mullins will take the ball. Dermot Mullins, his father Sean won club championships with St Vincent's in Dublin, and Portlaoise cuts the ball up, doesn't go too far, kicked it on the ground. Robert Delaney does well, pulled it in the air by Owen Dooley. Raymond Kerwin the chase afterward, beaten for the ball by Niall Rigney. Great play by Rigney. Castletown player down injured on the ground off the ball. Rigney throws the ball up, blocked from behind by Patrick Phelan. Running onto the ball is Eamon Kerwin, captain the Castletown team to win the title a couple of years ago. Down to Fernand O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan on the run, a chance of a goal. Straight into Hannafy runs. Shot, a goal! Fernand O'Sullivan, his second goal of the game. A marvellous ball drilled on down to Fernand O'Sullivan. He won possession, took off like a train. Hannafy came out to meet him. Probably should have got rid of the ball earlier, but Hannafy came out, met him, stopped him, but when he got a bit of room for himself, turned around and lashed the ball to the corner of the net. Meanwhile, Brian Fitzpatrick having his name taken by referee Lee McEvoy for an off-the-ball incident out the field. And referee Lee McEvoy giving him no doubt as to his future actions as he puts his name into the book. John Hannafy's puck out. John O'Sullivan comes off his hand, pulled on the ground by Owen Dooley. Down to Fernand O'Sullivan. Paddy Dollar win possession. Paddy Dollar goes for the score, hits it high but hits it to the right and wide. His side's third wide of this game. John Hannafy's puck out. Hodgie Cuddy breaks it down. Tipped away by Niall Rigney. Running on to Damien O'Sullivan. Owen Dooley's back there. Down to Fernand O'Sullivan. Eamon Murphy now marking him. Cyril Cuddy moved out to the corner back position. Eamon Murphy gives it back to Cyril Cuddy. Cyril drives the ball high. Grabbed in the air by Des Rigney. Rigney gets his shot in despite the intentions of John O'Sullivan. In towards Colin Clear. Beaten for the ball back there by the corner back Tom Phelan. But his shot goes straight out over the sideline, far side of the field. "19 minutes gone. Joe Phelan cuts it low on the ground. Dermot Mullins, ball tipped away from him. Owen Dooley hits it, running as far as Brian Fitzpatrick. He strikes it high. For Brian behind the chase back in after, but Paul Cuddy's back there, tips it into an open space. Back and gathers the ball and drives it, blocked down by Noel Rigney. Taken back there by Tom Phelan. Phelan hand passes the ball out to the wing to David Cuddy. Great play by Castletown out to defence. Cuddy drills the ball down for brother Podgy. It's over his head. Cyril Duggan is out to it. Tackled by Podge Cuddy. Gets his shot in. Des Rigney goes over his head. Back there is cornerback Martin Phelan. Martin shot way down along the sideline. Out over the sideline. Sideline ball to Portlaoise. Joe Phelan will take it. Joe Phelan, sideline ball. Straight up to Paul Cuddy, unmarked. Noel Rigney coming from behind. Hand passes the ball outside to his twin brother David Cuddy. David Cuddy hand passes it again across to Owen Dooley. Owen Dooley goes for the shot. It'll drop low inside. Eamon Murphy breaks it down. Mucky condition, does well to come back and gather it. Good play by Eamon Murphy. Tackles as he comes out. Hand passes the ball across for Cyril Duggan. Cyril Duggan from his left hand side. Up along that sideline. Colin Clear comes out to it. But Robert Delaney grabs the ball back, turns around and strikes it. Very, very strong player. Cyril Duggan puts up the hand. It falls down to Paddy Dollar. Paddy turning onto his left hand side. He gets a shot in way across the far side for Patrick Phelan. Patrick beaten for the ball and beaten for by Joe Phelan. Great play by the wing half back. Drills it low on the ground. Up to Teddy Fennelly. Teddy Fennelly going off on a solo run. John Sullivan chasing after him. Still Teddy Fennelly going forward. Runs into David Cuddy, and the referee gives the advantage to the Portlaoise man. And the free will be to them, and Niall Ridley coming forward to take it again. 21 minutes gone. Portlaoise looking for their second score of the game, and Niall Ridley looking for that second score also. He's about 35 metres out, just to the right of the post. Niall Ridley rises it, strikes it high, strikes it well, and over the bar. 2 goals between the sides. 21.5 minutes gone in this first half. Those 2 goals from Fiona Sullivan. Ball dropping down this side. Pudge Cuddy grabs the ball. Leaves Dermot Mullins behind him. Little chip inside for Paddy Dollard. Runs into John Hannafy. Hannafy does well. Onto the hurl and clears it out to the far side. Over to her Teddy Fennelly and John O'Sullivan. Sullivan doing well, keeping the ball away from Fennelly. Back to Joe Phelan. Phelan shot half blocked down but out over the sideline.
Ball down left side there.
Back with play, sideline ball. John O'Sullivan cuts it. Great cut. Cut off back there by Niall Ridley. Chasing after it. Eamon Kirwan. The ball beating him out over the sideline ball to Portlaoise. Low scoring Laois Senior Hurling Championship final, with 2 goals from Castletown, the difference between the sides at the moment. 6 minutes from the break. Castletown playing with what breezes in it in this opening half. Des Killeen's sideline ball comes to Niall Ridley. Niall Ridley tackled from behind in a free out to Portlaoise. Ridley will take it himself. No hurry on Portlaoise. They're playing against this breeze. Niall Ridley takes the free. Drilled in towards his brother Noel again. Drop short. Paul Cuddy down on the knees. Little bit of a ruck, and as Colin Clear was going away with the ball, the referee will call it back and throw it in, about 30 metres out in front of the Castletown goals. Heavy pulling in, but Paul Cuddy getting the best of the pulls. Dermot Mullins cuts it off, kicks it along the ground, tips it out into an open space. Tommy Mulligan chasing after him, beaten for the pull by Robert Delaney. Pudgy Cuddy near the sideline, runs into Dermot Mullins, throws it up, catches it again, but the referee gives the free against him. "25 minutes gone in this opening half. A hush over the Moore Park as Niall Ridley stands over this ball, looking for his 3rd score of the game. Rises it, strikes it well. That's a great strike, just inside, no, just outside at left post. Difficult to judge from this angle, but Ridley's effort wide of the post. And with 2 goals and 2 points. Castletown captain John Lyons with the puck out. Way down the far side. Back there's Paddy Dollard, keeps it in play. Lowell on the ground, running out to Fiona Sullivan. Joe Phelan, Joe doing well, the wing half back. Goes by Paddy Dollard, gets his shot in. Great relieving clearance. But back there is the cornerback, Tom Phelan. Running on, winning the ball again in a second attempt. Blocked down from behind. John O'Sullivan trying to get it away. Tipped on by Teddy Fennelly. Noel Ridley will chase after it. Portlaoise pair down injured on the ground off the ball. Ridley can't hold the feet. A bit of a push from behind by Paul Cuddy in the free in to Portlaoise. He about 30 metres out. A couple of metres in from the far sideline. He scored 2 out of 3 so far in this game. Eerie silence over Moore Park as Niall Ridley rises this one, strikes it. This one again, to the left and wide. 2 wides in a row for the Portlaoise captain and centre half back. Being brought forward each time to take these frees. 28 minutes gone. The ball bounces off of Eamon Kirwan. Brian Fitzpatrick along the ground for Tommy Mulligan, but beaten by Robert Delaney, but Delaney's efforts in vain as he knocks it out over the sideline. Dermot Mullins will come forward to take it. Into the last 2 minutes of this opening half. The Laois Open Laois Senior Hurling Championship final. The ball cut, but Robert Delaney is there. He takes it away, he goes on a great run. Hits it on the run. Eamon Murphy, first out to it, slips as he's going into it, tries to gather it, chance over Castletown again. Podgy Cuddy tried to win it on his knees. Dermot Mullins takes it. Great play by the wing halfback. Hits it low on the ground, shot half blocked down. Eamon Kirwan takes it eye off it. Dispossessed by Niall Rigney. Rigney throws a dummy and throws a marvellous shot way up in the clouds and up the field. Paul Cuddy is under it, knocked off the ball, goes after it on his knees. Tackled inside by Colin Clear, but wins himself a free out. David Cuddy will take this about 55 metres out from his own goal. Rises it, strikes it well. It's a massive dropping, but dropping to the left and wide. Puck out, grabbed the far side of the field by Eamon Fennelly. Eamon on the run, John Sullivan after him. Fennelly doing well, still going forward with the ball. Hand passes the ball forward, but a little slap of the hurl and the referee right in the spot, and he gives the free in, and the free in to Portlaoise. Niall Rigney standing over this one. His 5th attempt, he has scored 2 points. Rises it, strikes it. This one is better, this one's over the bar. Niall Rigney are free about 30 metres out. All of Portlaoise's scores coming from Niall Rigney, 3 frees. Just 31 minutes gone in the opening half. John Lyons is puck out. Comes down to Dermot Mullins. Dermot off on a run. Hand passes the ball forward for Teddy Fennelly. Fennelly took his eye off it. Robert Delaney cuts it away from him. Down to Podge Cuddy. Podge gets the shot in, but the ball will be out to the right and wide. 2 for Castletown. 3 points for Portlaoise. Referee looking at his watch as Brian Fitzpatrick keeps it in play the far side of the field. John O'Sullivan one-handed cuts it along the ground. Eamon Murphy's first out to it. Niall Rigney tackled as he was going for the ball. The ball under him. Referee Lee McEvoy right in the spot. Heavy pulling back there. Referee right in the spot again, and the Des Rigney. The man convicted in the free-in is to Castletown. Chance to extend that lead just before half-time. 32 minutes gone in this first half. Patrick Phelan standing over the ball. He rises it, strikes it, but strikes it to the left and wide. Let off as the referee calls for the ball. Half-time in the Laois Senior Hurling Championship final. It's Castletown, thanks to 2 goals from Fionnán O'Sullivan, who lead Portlaoise the champions. 2 goals and 2 points to 3 points. Lee McEvoy throws in the ball for the second half of the Laois Senior Hurling Championship final. Castletown 2 goals ahead of the defending champions. The ball cut away by Des Rigney. David Cuddy chasing after. Damien Sullivan, Brian Fitzpatrick. Robert Delaney kicks the ball away. Back there pulling on his own Dooley. Back to Brian Fitzpatrick, strong player going forward. Jewel put ball around Hollow with Portlaoise. Still Fitzpatrick going forward. 20 metres out. Tries to dimmer the ball in his hand. Chance of a goal. The ball cut away from him. No Rigney gets the shot in. Not strong enough. And the ball cleared to safety. Back outside to Teddy Fennelly. Teddy Fennelly goes for the score. Knocked down brilliantly by John O'Sullivan. But the referee gives the free against John O'Sullivan as he buries the handle of the hurl in the ground. But that slap down, and referee Liam McEvoy telling me exactly what it was for, and now a chance. Five points between the sides. Niall Ridney rises it, strikes it well, strikes it to the left and wide. But he disagrees. The referee says no. Ridney thought it was behind the post, but certainly another crucial miss. He has missed 3 close-in frees in the game. That was certainly one that should have gone between the posts. It was very, very close. Teddy Fennelly kicking the ball away from him. Now tries to gather it up, runs into trouble, cut away by Eamon Murphy. Goes past Tommy Mulligan, chasing back after John O'Sullivan. Sullivan wins possession and clears a marvellous ball. Back in towards the centre. The ball broken down. John O'Sullivan chasing after it. Across comes Des Killeen and does well. Gets the ball in a second attempt and clears it. Great interception by Killeen. Back out to the middle. Robert Delaney. Again up goes Cyril Duggan, but leaves the ball behind him. Fionn O'Sullivan comes out and gathers it. 2 goals in the first half. Niall really takes the ball away from him this time, but only out as far as Eamon Kirwan. Kirwan drops the ball inside to Paddy Dollard to fall forward. Dollard whips the ball, tries to whip it across, but taken off him again by Des Killeen. Doing well, scoops the ball back out to Dermot Mullins. Mullins under pressure, he's fouled in the free out to Portlaoise.
Come on, free man up!
Niall Ridney takes the free. Drop about 30 metres out the other end. Heavy pulling in the air. Paul Cuddy's back there. The ball slips away from him. Noel Ridney trying to win it. Stalemate as the ball is on the ground and players hovering above it. The referee blows the whistle. He'll throw it in about 20 metres out. Nobody rushing to get in for the throw in. Let's see Brian Bohan and Tom Phelan. Heavy pulling from all the players, but coming away with it. The centre half back Cyril Cuddy, hand passes the ball to Robert Delaney. Huge clearance from him. Up again towards Fionn O'Sullivan and Eamon Murphy. Cyril Duggan is back there. Tackle from behind by Sean Hanlon. Turns onto his right side, clears the ball out. Under is Tommy Mulligan and John O'Sullivan. Mulligan just tipped it on a bit, but back there covering is David Cuddy. Cuddy back into the middle to Sean Hanlon. Owen Dooley. Owen Dooley's blocked down from behind, but wins the possession again. Off an O'Sullivan run. Still wins possession. Tries to put the ball forward for Fionn O'Sullivan. Sullivan on the edge of the square, looking for his third. A shot. Blocked by Hannafy and cleared by John Hannafy out the far side. Mullins takes it down. Runs into a heavy tackle. Turns around again. Gets the ball down to Brian Fitzpatrick. He lets go the first attempt. Cut off back there by centre back Cyril Cuddy. Cuddy having a marvellous game at number 6. Gets the ball low on the ground to John O'Sullivan. John O'Sullivan goes for the score. From centre of the field, drops into the hand of John Hannafy. And Hannafy clears up from his left hand side. Des Rigney and David Cuddy fighting for position. Robert Delaney wins it. Robert Delaney strikes it back in again. It's all Castletown pressure. Portlaoise absorbing it at the moment. Des Killeen is back there. Wins the ball. Having a superb game at cornerback. Drives it out along the sideline. Very near that sideline. John O'Sullivan watches it go out. Near that white flag being tackled by Tommy Mulligan, but the sideline ball will be to Castletown. Chance of narrowing the gap from a free. But just failed as John Sullivan cuts it along the sideline. Up to Paddy Dollard. Paddy Dollard and Des Killeen. Turns Des Killeen this time. Hand passes the ball back outside to Patrick Phelan. Paddy turning and twisting too many times and the free given against him. And the great John Taylor being introduced. John Taylor, who retired after last year's county final, had no part in this year's campaign and pressed into action last week again. And he is in for corner forward Colin Clear. One of the greatest players ever to wear the blue and white of Laois, or certainly the jersey of Portlaoise. Famous number 5 wing half back now being introduced at corner forward, John Taylor. Suffering with back injuries right throughout the year. The ball broken down inside Portlaoise player, knocked to the ground, but play goes on. Brian Fitzpatrick wins possession. Strong player going forward. Tries to hand pass the ball. Cut off by Tom Phelan. A tidy corner back. A Portlaoise player down injured. Podge Cuddy keeps it in play on the far side, or doesn't keep it in play, the ball just hobbling along the sideline. Dermot Mullins will take the sideline ball, far side of the field. 6.5 minutes gone. Dermot Mullins cuts it low along the ground. John O'Sullivan tries to break it out. Hops up into the hand of David Cuddy. He hand passes it across, cut off by Teddy Fennelly. Fennelly chasing after the ball, tips it away to an open space. Has it on the hand now, goes for the score, drops it inside. Pull back, Paul Cuddy is there, takes it cleanly. Marvellous striker of ball. The ball cut on by Eamon Kerwin to Paddy Dollard. Hurling certainly increasing in standard as Eamon Kerwin chases after it. He's now with a chance of a score. Goes for the score, Eamon Kerwin. Beautiful strike, beautiful point from Eamon Kerwin. 7 minutes into the second half, and the first goal of the second half puts Castletown into a 2-goal lead again. 2 clear goals clear. Eoin Dooley strikes it up to Fionn O'Sullivan, causing havoc. Goes for the score this time, drops it high, drops it over the bar. Fionn O'Sullivan, 2 goals and a point he has scored in this Least Junior Hurling Championship final. 2-4 to 3 points Castletown lead. And certainly playing the better hurling, picking off those 2 great scores in the second half. Back fighting for the ball, right near the end line. Patrick Phelan, but in fact Tom Taylor wins possession. He's blocked down, John Taylor. His first touch of the action. Tries to get the ball away. Tackling him in there is Tom Phelan. Referee will go in and sort it out. A little bit of over-exuberance, as they might say in other codes, and jostling for position over there. David Cuddy and Des Reedley. Too anxious is the referee, he orders them back. Tempers getting flared a little, tensions rising. Crucial stage of the game. 9 minutes gone in this second half. Castletown leading 2-4 to 3 points. The ball thrown in. Recipe for disaster as hurls are swung and abandoned over there again, and now a Castletown player goes down injured right beside the referee, and well, I just spoke moments ago about Temper being fair and threatening to boil over, and well, it didn't take very long. I always think that these referee throwing in balls are a recipe for disaster, and there must be a better way and a different way of doing it. Just looking to see where the referee is. He's coming across with his book, and Castletown player still down injured. Des Rigney, the player, been spoken to. One of a famous sporting family. Des turns around, shows the referee his number 17. Haven't seen a card issued as yet. Yellow card issued to 2 players. Des Rigney and the cornerback Martin Phelan. John Gleeson in the game. Noel Rigney got off. And here comes the throw-in again, these famous throw-ins. This time the ball just tipped away. Brian Fitzpatrick tips it a bit farther. Still a stalemate at far side of the field. Other Castletown player down injured. Paul Cuddy with the free, will get it out of that corner at last, drives it into the centre of the field. Midfielder Owen Dooley for Castletown. Driving in towards Podge Cuddy. Cyril Duggan is there. On his knees he gets the ball away. Niall Ridley will chase after. Ball in the hand. Portlaoise needs scores, they need him soon to get back into this game. Niall Ridley fouled as he was striking the ball in the field where it landed about 35 metres out in front of the post. Niall Ridley relieved of the free taking duties. Brian Mohan will take it about 30 metres out, rises it, strikes it cleanly, strikes it over the bar. There's 2 goals between the sides. Brian Mohan, 50 years ago exactly this year, his father Billy played an All-Ireland final with Laois, one of the stars of that team, unfortunately well beaten by Tipperary on the day. Two goals between the sides, the ball dropping way up along the far side. Eamon Kirwan keeps it in play, drives it back into the middle. Cyril Duggan can't control it. Paddy Dollar and Podge Cuddy back there. The ball tipped away. Teddy Fennelly, one-handed out into an open space. He'll go after the ball. Rises it, and on the run. Great run by Teddy Fennelly. John Sullivan comes to meet him. Fennelly gets the shot inside. In towards big John Gleeson. But out comes Paul Cuddy and takes the ball and drives it cleanly up along the far side. For Sean Hanlon to chase after. Hanlon tackled over there by Eamon Murphy. Both players go to the ground. Hanlon gets up and strikes it in. Danger here for Portlaoise. Hannafy breaks it out to one side, very near the end line. Back there's Podgy Cuddy and Cyril Duggan. Duggan tries to get up into the hand. Stalemate again in there as Cyril Duggan goes to the ground. Referee gives the free out to Portlaoise. Duggan takes the free, drives it down towards Brian Fitzpatrick, beaten in the air by Robert Delaney, but his shot goes out over the sideline ball to Portlaoise. "15 minutes gone as Joe Phelan takes the sideline ball, a poor one along the ground. Des Rigney beaten for the pull that time by David Cuddy out over the sideline. Joe Phelan will take the sideline ball again. Mucky part of the field, tries to get a green spot to put it on. Poor cut again on the ground, but Des Reedy will win it. Possession. Hand passes the ball back into the middle. Intercepted by Robert Delaney, the wing half back for Castletown. Doing very, very well indeed. Been chased out the field. Still in possession, but puts it out over the sideline. Again, the sideline ball is to Portlaoise. Very like a rugby game. A lot of play on that side of the field in the second half. A lot of balls going out over that sideline. John Taylor coming across to take this one. Well, he was a marvellous striker of a ball. Over the years, put many, many balls between the posts from this distance and way farther out the field. Portlaoise looking for goals. Trains to those 2 goals, those 2 first half goals from Fionnán O'Sullivan. John Taylor from the left side. Taylor's a marvellous cut from John Taylor, jumping in all the way over the bar. John Taylor, one of the all-time greats of Laois hurling, and showing how it should be done, cutting it over the bar. Lost none of his skill, none of his sparkle, and while there's no denying it, a marvellously skillful player and showing it all there. 5 points between the sides. 16 minutes gone in the second half. David Cuddy wins possession, turns and strikes the ball. Eamon Murphy under it, breaks the ball down to Niall Ridley. Ridley can't get into his hand. Eamon Murphy does, drops it again. Stalemate over there. Eventually it's Joe Phelan coming away with the ball. 17-year-old Joe on the run, gets a strike into the side of the field for Taylor to chase after. John Taylor wins possession, turns into his left side, goes for the score, but the ball just barely curling and curling to the left and wide. Got a belt on the thumb as he was striking the ball as well. Another sub in for Portlaoise. Michael Bowe coming on. Michael Bowe gone back to cornerback. Eamon Murphy out into the half back line. Fiona Sullivan and Niall Reedy having exchanges in the centre of the field as the puck out comes from John Lyons way across to the side. The ball taken by Patrick Phelan. He launches another attack. It'll hop in front of Hannafy, but John does well, comes out and takes it. And on his right side, he drives the ball back out into the centre again. Niall Reedy breaks the ball down, tips it away from David Cuddy. Cut back by Des Reedy. Patrick Phelan tries to grab it up. Teddy Fennelly can't control it. Patrick Phelan does and goes for the score, but it'll tail out as Hannafy comes out and grabs it. John Hannafy from his left hand side out to the centre of the field, very near the sideline. Robert Delaney tries to keep it in play. Brian Fitzpatrick does. Good play, but no, the linesman has the white flag up and the sideline ball will be to Castletown, far side of the field. Cut by Robert Delaney. Dermot Mullins drops it out of hand but wins it again. Strikes it on the run. Down towards Damien O'Sullivan. Robert Delaney blocks it off, intercepts it. Sullivan trying to control it as well. Mucky, slippery conditions. Brian Fitzpatrick had it in his hand. He too lost it. Mullins back there again. Dermot Mullins. He hand passed it forward for Brian Vaughan. Brian Vaughan gives it back to Des Reedy. Des Reedy drives a huge one forward, dropping in all the way over the bar. Well, Des Reedy hasn't scored that many points or scores for Portlaoise over the year, but that could be a vital one. 4 points between the sides. 19 minutes gone. Can Portlaoise pull this one out of the fire? 2-6 to 4 points. Eamon Murphy. Portlaoise getting stronger as the game goes on. Murphy across to Brian Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick turns and strikes it. Down towards Taylor. Taylor turns his man, but referee said it was a little pull from behind by John Taylor. And the free out given to Castletown. Paul Cuddy rises it and strikes it. Danger of Portlaoise dropped in around the square. Cyril Duggan had the hand up but been fouled from behind by Paddy Dollard, and Cyril Cuddy gets the free out and John Hannafy will come and take it. Line umpire calling the referee in, pointing out some little indiscretion to him. Cyril Duggan rises the ball and strikes it. A massive one, just about 30 metres out the other end of the field. Castletown there in numbers, the ball comes across to Niall Reedy. Reedy tries to rise it and strike it, but just bustled out of the game. And the ball going out to the left and wide, and a Portlaoise player down off the ball again. But Reedy certainly with a chance, didn't pick it quickly enough, then tried to rise it and strike it on the run, and the ball just going out over the end line. Now Captain John Lyons. 21.5 minutes gone. 8.5 minutes left in this Laois Senior Hurling Championship final. Portlaoise trailing Castletown by 4 points. Dermot Mullins breaks the ball down, taken off by John O'Sullivan. John O'Sullivan from his left hand side up along the sideline. Podge Cuddy and Des Killeen chase after it. Killeen doing well. He's had a marvellous game at cornerback. Foul from behind by Podge Cuddy, Podge and the free out. Cyril Duggan going across to take it. Again the umpires calling the attention of the referee in. Cyril Duggan takes the free. Des Reedy had it in his hand, dropped it. Running on to Patrick Phelan. Des Reedy doing well. So also back there is the cornerback, Tom Phelan. Reedy hits it out along the sideline, out over the sideline. Reedy claiming the last touches from a blue and white clad player. John Taylor says the same. What does the referees, linesman say? Has made no clear decision. Didn't point with a flag, pointed with a finger in the direction of the Castletown goal. Jimmy Fitzpatrick, the linesman. Meanwhile, a Castletown player down off the ball, and the umpires with their hands in the air, and they're being called, the referee being called back again. Injured. Nothing being called back by referee Lee McEvoy. Could be in some trouble, Cyril. Dual player with Portlaoise hurling in football, and next week they play the Laois Senior Football Championship semi-final against Stradbally. Referee Lee McEvoy showing him the yellow card. Fionnán O'Sullivan limps back on his feet. Meanwhile, ready to take the sideline ball is Niall Rigney. Time ticks away. Time or tide waits for no man at the moment. Is not waiting for Portlaoise. The time that is as Niall Rigney will take the sideline ball. Cuts it poorly on the ground. Coming out to it is John Gleeson. Substitute full forward. Leaves the ball behind him. Coming into it is John Taylor. Trying to get the ball out to an open space, but the referee blows the whistle and throw the ball in as Taylor had won possession. 5 minutes left in the game. 4 points between the sides. 2-4 for Castletown. 6 points for Portlaoise. Referee will throw the ball in again. Des Rigney and Eamon Kerwin. Time being wasted. Threatening to pull inside, and back there is Paul Cuddy trying to win the ball up. More pushing, more shoving. Again, the Castletown player goes down on the ground, the Portlaoise player already on it, and the referee will throw in the ball again. Owen Dooley, the midfielder, down injured.
We just throw it in, ref. You not see it or what?
Niall Rigney trying to win possession. Instead it's Tom Phelan, the cornerback. Still chasing out of the ball. Throws it up. Locked away from him. Back out to his brother. The corner forward, number 15. And Patrick, he gets a shot in. Up to Paddy Dollard. Dollard closed down. Tries to get it back to Eamon Kerwin. Kerwin, all the time in the world. Back there is Des Killeen. He can't control it. Podge Cuddy pushes him out of the way. Dylan Muller's doing well. Off on a run. Throws it up. Knocked down by Eamon Kerwin. Back there is Patrick Phelan. Into Paul Cuddy. The ball back out to John O'Sullivan. And meanwhile off the ball, two players entangled each other about 20 metres out from the goal. A game that has threatened to get out of control many times, but niggly inches off the ball. Two players fighting with each other, pulling and dragging, no more than that. But time ticking away on Portlaoise. 4 minutes of normal time left as the rain comes down again at Moore Park. Having words with him coming back out the field. A game riddled with stoppages in the second half. Very little free-flowing hurling. Podge Cuddy with the ball in his hand, referee calling for it. As Clonus Castletown about to bring in another substitute. Another bit of time wasting. As Owen Dooley is replaced. John Palmer. Ball is thrown in into the last 2 minutes of normal time. Podge Cuddy wins possession, vital possession, gets a shot in. Chasing after it is Cyril Cuddy. And Fionnán O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan wins the ball, turns around to go for the score, hits it high, curls beautifully. That's a marvellous score from Fionnán O'Sullivan. Two vital goals, 2 vital points as Portlaoise back in action again from that puck out. Niall Rigney pulled to the ground. Brian Fitzpatrick takes the ball on the run. Still going forward, goes for the score, strikes it high, but the referee had blown the whistle and given a free into Portlaoise for the foul on Niall Rigney. Trying to throw the ball in. Niall Rigney still fighting for his say, and the referee bringing it out. I think he has a little book out. Umpires been called out. Pandemonium in the Moore Park in Portlaoise.
Overmatched by the crowd.
Teddy Fennelly been called back way away from the action. Going for the back pocket for Teddy Fennelly. Red card issued for Teddy Fennelly. Portlaoise down to 14 men. Teddy Fennelly, bit of a rush of blood to the head, coming in and challenging the referee sometime earlier and getting a red card for his troubles. Now it seems he's giving the free to Portlaoise. Well, it should have been given a long time ago. Time ticks away, 30 seconds into injury time. Now the referee going in to talk to the umpire again. 31 minutes gone in this Laois senior hurling final. 2-5 to 6 points. Five points between the sides. Niall Rigney must go for the goal. Strikes it low and hard and just going out and it's over the bar. Got an inspection over 65, a 65 metre free, in fact, 65 metre free. There's a pile driver from Rigney, but the ball getting a deflection and going out for a 65. A game that threatened to get out of control, and certainly not being players from all sides just pushing and shoving, but certainly a Portlaoise player, Brian Fitzpatrick, on the ground, and I think it was clear to see exactly what happened to him. Referee in talking to the cornerback, Martin Phelan. I believe he already has a yellow card. Reaching for the back pocket, he also sent off. Well, there was no question about that one. By 5 points, the defending champions. Cyril Duggan takes the free, dropping in around the square. Up go the hands, and up goes the hand of Patrick Phelan in the corner forward. And he comes away on a shoulder run. Again, dispossessed is coming out. John Gleeson trying to win back possession. Brian Fitzpatrick does win possession. Down near the corner flag. Back across the face of the goal. John Taylor under it. So also is Niall Rigney. Shot from Rigney. Goal from Niall Rigney. 33 minutes gone. Patrick Phelan had the ball in possession. Dispossessed coming out. But as he was coming out, the ball coming to Brian Fitzpatrick over near the corner flag. He drove it across the goal, came down to Niall Rigney, and he made no mistake, rattling the back of the net. 2 points between the sides. Referee, I think, indicated there's 2 minutes left in the game. There are 33.5 minutes gone. 2-5 to 1-6. 2 points between the sides. Is there enough of time for Portlaoise to pull this one out of the fire? Certainly a lot of stoppage in the second half. The ball comes to Fernand O'Sullivan. He has been the match winner for Castletown so far. Can he tie it up? Goes for the shot out to the right and wide. John Hannafy with the puck out. 34 minutes gone. The ball dropping. Rigney under him. David Cuddy has it in possession. Cuddy coming away with it. Foul as he's coming out. Four minutes of injury time played. And the rest at the discretion of the referee. Referee ordering some people away from the back of the goal. A bit of pushing and shoving taking place back there. Castletown looking for their third Laois senior hurling title. Cuddy rises this one. It's a massive stroke, dropping all the way over the bar. Superb point from about 50 metres out from his own goal. And referee blows the full-time whistle. And Castletown are the Laois senior hurling champions for the third time in the 90s, winning by a single goal in the end. 2 goals and 6 points to 1 goal and 6. In a second half riddled with stoppages, riddled with bad play, and riddled with niggly incidents around the field. But in the end, both teams finishing with 14 men, and Castletown going on to defeat the champions by a goal. 2 goals and 6 points to 1 goal and 6. Here in Portlaoise, Laois senior hurling final result. Castletown 2 goals and 6 points. Castletown 2 goals and 6 points to 6. Portlaoise the holders 1 goal and 6. Okay, Jack Nolan. Okay, bye-bye.
Everyone jumps in the air. Thank you.